President this Wednesday evening, a day of fast-paced developments, beginning with President's address to the joint session of Parliament, ending with the arrest of Hemant Soren, the Jharkhand Chief Minister, our 7-hour-long marathon questioning by the Enforcement Directorate. In fact, in dramatic developments, he went in custody from his official residence as Chief Minister in an ED car to the Raj Bhavan, where he submitted his resignation. Parallelly, the legislature party of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha deciding that Champai Soren is going to be their next leader, who has already staked claim to form the government and take oath, which in all likelihood, given the numbers, it would be announced. But then the fact that a chief minister evaded 9 summons, finally submitting quiz for 7 hours, arrested, and all those cases in which he is under a scanner and connected corruption cases of other leaders, essentially in the opposition space. It's engendered a hot debate, and that we are going to discuss other developments also through the day, important ones in the Gyanvapi and the Congress governments, one after another, down south particularly saying ille about the promises and the guarantees that they gave. They are saying they don't have money unless you elect the Congress to the center. Maybe something can be done. That's going to be our focus. Let's introduce the debates before I go to the ground and get you latest on what's really happening in Ranchi, Jharkhand. Okay, let's begin with the headlines first. Under scanner for Mega Land scam, Hemant Soren, quiz for 7 hours, set to be arrested. He has been arrested. Hectic political developments in Ranchi. Soren resigns as Jharkhand Chief Minister. Soren's close aide Champai Soren set to take over as the next Chief Minister of Jharkhand. INDI completely falls apart as Samajwadi Party Congress seat sharing talks hit a deadlock in Uttar Pradesh. Big development in the Gyanvapi case. Court allows Hindu side to offer prayers at the southern side of the Gyanvapi complex. And stand by for the most anticipated moment of the fiscal year as Nirmala Sitharaman presents her interim budget. Arnab and India's #1 news team bring to you all connected with it from morning tomorrow, 8 a.m. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jharkhand nail biter nears climax. It has, in fact. Hemant Soren has already been arrested after a marathon questioning by the Enforcement Directorate. He, in fact, went in to submit his resignation to the governor in Ranchi in ED custody in an ED car. There has been a huge action from Delhi to Ranchi in the last few days. In fact, let's take a look at the developments that have taken place. Then I believe we have a reporter on the ground, Prakash Singh, senior editor, covering all the development there from Ranchi. We'll go to him.
The last 72 hours have been high drama in Jharkhand politics. January 29, a team of ED officials arrive at Chief Minister Hemant Soren's residence in Delhi at 7 a.m. in connection with the alleged land scam case. Soren wasn't found at his house, but staff had no information about his whereabouts. When the ED couldn't trace him, agency sources said Soren went missing. ED officers camped at his South Delhi house for almost 13 hours to question him. Following the developments, the CM's office said Soren will be available for questioning on January 31. Late on Monday, ED seized cash worth 36 lakh rupees, 2 luxury cars and incriminating documents from Soren's residence. After hours of speculation, Soren showed up in Ranchi on Tuesday, smiling, waving at his supporters as his cavalcade entered his Ranchi home. He met with his legislators. His wife Kalpana Soren attended the JMM meeting, sparking speculations over change in leadership. Cut to today, Soren holds legislative party meet. Top officers made their way to CM's residence. This even as ED questioned Chief Minister Soren. Is Jharkhand heading towards Bihar-like situation? Let's debate.
All right, that was a thumbs-up picture of Hemant Soren while getting inside the Raj Bhavan, where he went to resign from Chief Minister's chair. But then the interesting thing is that the car was not the official Chief Minister's car. It was a private car, possibly of the Enforcement Directorate, which means he was in custody, but still no clarity as yet whether he's officially arrested. For that, let's go to Shravan Sen, because he's keeping close track of the developments insofar as the Enforcement Directorate is concerned. Then I'll go to Prakash Singh, who's there in Ranchi. Shravan, to you first. Can you give us clarity as to whether Hemant Soren is arrested or not arrested, detained or not detained, questioning or the questioning has ended? What's the exact status?
In capital, no. Hemant Soren hasn't been arrested as yet. The breaking news now coming in, top sources within the Enforcement Directorate confirming to Republic TV that moments before the Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren wanted to leave for the governor's house, that is when the arrest memo was handed over to him. It turns out, let's put this breaking news now, Hemant Soren refused to sign the arrest memo. That is the reason why he was then granted permission to go to the governor's residence. Once he returns, the questioning continues and then he will be placed under arrest. So just to put this into perspective, as of now, he hasn't been shown arrested. Mere formality. Once the questioning completes, he will be shown as arrested. But right now, Hemant Soren hasn't been taken into custody by the Enforcement Directorate, Abhishek. I've spoken to my sources both in Ranchi as well as in the national capital. They say that he has refused to sign the arrest memo, but of course he will have to do that once he returns.
Okay, so I was coming to that, Shravan. So for the benefit of viewers, is that a technicality? Only a technicality, following which, once it is corrected, Hemant Soren would be shown as arrested. He can't escape it now, right?
Well, there is no question of him being able to escape this, because a decision has already been made by the investigating officer that a custodial interrogation of the Chief Minister is imperative right now, because he's been evasive. He hasn't been really cooperating. Questions were essentially asked about the cash transactions that have taken place, the cash diary receipts that we showed our viewers a short while back, and more importantly, his alleged links with Prem Prakash and Amit Agarwal, to which he's already feigned ignorance, and that is the reason why when the arrest memo was presented before him, he was essentially shown the sections that under which he would be taken into custody. But it turns out that he said that he's a sitting Chief Minister. He wants to go to the governor's to the Raj Bhavan. Once he resigns, the procedure can be completed, and that is the reason why the Enforcement Directorate then took a collective decision to allow, after all, he's a sitting Chief Minister, to allow him to go to the Raj Bhavan, put in his papers. Once he comes back, a bit of a questioning is remaining, is what I'm being told by our sources here in the national capital, that once the questioning is over, which it's not going to take much time, it's not going to take much time now. Once that happens, he would be given the arrest memo. There would be a witness present, and remember, a copy of which will also be given to the legal team of Hemant Soren.
Obviously, I believe, but for these procedural formalities and some technicalities, Hemant Soren is looking at game over. He has already resigned as Chief Minister, obviously, because he knows the ED has enough to go ahead and arrest him. He has only bought some time, maybe some minutes. But let me go to Ranchi, where Prakash Singh has been reporting since morning. And let's take an update on the political development that have taken place. Prakash, the Chief Minister resigned and the legislature party has chosen Champai Soren as their next leader. You think there could be many a slip between the cup and the lip, or the government is safe, the JMM government continues irrespective, and that Hemant Soren would have a fallback option whenever he's out of these legal issues?
Well, as of now, it looks like the JMM has the numbers. They have the numbers with JMM alone having 30 odd MLAs, with Congress 18, and then RJD, CPI, and one more MLA coming up to 51 MLAs out of the 81 member house. So that is enough. But Abhishek, you know, in small states, overnight a government is toppled with a few MLAs here and there switching sides, and all of a sudden you see that a different party has a government formed. So, but as far as now is concerned, BJP is also keeping a close eye on the political developments after the exit of Hemant Soren. But it is most likely that Champai Soren is meeting the governor, and he's been asked to meet along with 5 MLAs, and thereafter claim to stake claim to form the government will be made, and the letter of support would be handed over, and if the governor desires, the MLAs would march, and then the formation of new government would be ensured. And in any case, Jharkhand goes to the polls in October, November this year. So there is a political uncertainty in the state of Jharkhand, but we'll wait and watch how the BJP responds to this.
All right, Prakash, thank you so much for those updates. In fact, as we are going to discuss what are the implications of this development, not just for Jharkhand, but for the larger opposition politics as we head into a general election cycle, let's look at whom we are getting. All right, joining me on the panel and on the screens for you viewers, Anirban Banerjee, political analyst, leans towards the Trinamool Congress. He's joining us live from Kolkata. We have Pankaj Sharma, senior journalist, live from Delhi, leans towards the Congress party. Mr. Dharanidharan, spokesperson of the DMK. He's joining us live from Chennai. And that really gives us an idea of the kind of opposition representation we have on the panel. Also, from the opposition space, Anmol Pawar, political analyst, leans towards the Aam Aadmi Party. And remember, there are so many cases against the Aam Aadmi Party. Also, many of their ministers, including their former deputy chief minister, in jail. And in fact, on Friday, Chief Minister and Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal also invited or summoned yet again by the ED to represent the ruling dispensation. Binay Singh, political analyst, leans towards the BJP, live from Jharkhand, in fact. And Sanju Verma, spokesperson, national spokesperson of the BJP. So, if I could begin with you, Sanju, you know, the opposition would say, come elections, and the ED starts the campaign. How do you respond?
You know, first and foremost, Abhishek, an excellent introduction by you and by your colleague Shavan Sen. I just want to put a couple of facts out there for the benefit of your audience. You know, ye log jo kehte hain that the ED has been weaponized and the BJP wins elections on the merit of what the Enforcement Directorate chooses to do. I mean, that is a whole lot of hogwash. That is complete balderdash. And I'll tell you why. The first summon to Hemant Soren by the Enforcement Directorate was sent when 8th of August 2022. The 10th and the last summon, I've got this data from our BJP media cell. The last summon was sent on 27th January 2024. He skipped 10 summons. And let me tell you that anyone who has an understanding and basic common sense understanding of the law will know that under section 50, subsection 2, under section 50, subsection 2 of the PMLA Act of 2002 and the revised PMLA Act of 2005, after the first 3 summons, if you refuse to be interrogated by the ED, if you refuse to present yourself, if you refuse to comply with the summons, the ED under section 18, 22, 23 and 45 of the PMLA Act and section 50 can suo moto arrest you. So for people who say an Enforcement Directorate is a handmaiden of the BJP, if it were a handmaiden of the BJP, after the 3rd summon, right after the 4th summon, at best, we would have arrested Hemant Soren. He was given a long rope to come and comply with the law of the land. He brazenly and blatantly refused to do so. That is my point number one. Point number two, Abhishek, very quickly.
Sanju.
You know, they say very quickly, just bear with me for 30 seconds. As you are aware, Abhishek, in any crime, there are three things which are very important. Malafide intent, as in motive. There has to be a money trail that has to be established. And there have to be people who have to stand witness and say that, yes, they have benefited from the proceeds of the crime. Now, the Enforcement Directorate has clearly established a malafide motive. The Enforcement Directorate has established a money trail and proceeds of crime, and there have been not 1, 2, or 3, half a dozen witnesses, because remember, 14 people have been arrested, and the people who have started singing like canaries and who have deposed against Hemant Soren are top-notch bureaucrats. They are people like Bhanu Prasad, Vishnu Agarwal, Amit Agarwal, Pradeep Bagchi, and one of the closest IAS officers in the Soren dispensation, who's now disgraced, Miss Chavi Ranjan. She has clearly said that Benami properties were bought under the name of XYZ at the behest of Hemant Soren. And imagine the audacity. Most of these properties belong to either Indian Railways or the armed forces, our defense forces. Are you milking even defense property?
Right.
Are you not ashamed of yourself?
Right. Sanju, you know, you say what the opposition is saying is balderdash. Also, you almost seem to be suggesting that the Enforcement Directorate has been very polite, that instead of arresting after 3 summons, they waited for 9. Maybe they thought that cat has 9 lives, let's give more to the opposition leaders. But then, so the point is, Pankaj Sharma, a chief minister avoids 8 or 9 summons, and then he submits himself to questioning only after going missing for 24 hours, as reports have suggested. I don't know how to say that, because a sitting chief minister, a constitutional post, how can a chief minister go missing? But then the report suggested that he was not reachable, at least to the Enforcement Directorate, for 24 hours before he appeared again, after perhaps having sorted the leadership issue within his party and submitted himself for questioning. So, I mean, there are questions about not cooperating with investigation, irrespective of whether guilty or not, Pankaj Sharma.
See, this is very good that Hemant Soren is about to be arrested now in a few hours' time. Nation is waiting for the similar action against many others. P.S. Yediyurappa, Himanta Biswa Sharma, Narayan Rane, Chhagan Bhujbal, Ajit Pawar, Suvendu Adhikari.
Pankaj ji, very sorry. Pankaj ji, very sorry. I'll come to you only. But then we are getting a soundbite of Champai Soren, who is the Chief Minister designate of Jharkhand now. He's just come out of the Raj Bhavan. I think we have to listen to him. I come back to you, Pankaj. Just hold on for a bit.
दे दिया आपका चले गए। देखिए, हम सब ने अपना सरकार बनाने का दावा पेश किया है। 43 चंपाई सोरेन हमारे नए मुख्यमंत्री होंगे, उनके नेतृत्व में हम सब ने दावा पेश किया है। और बोलना है, बोलिए सर, बोलिए।
All right, those are the JMM MLAs outside the Raj Bhavan, and they have been asked to wait till the time that the formal staking of claim happens, with just 5 MLAs to go with Champai Soren. But coming back to the conversation we were having, going back to Pankaj Sharma, in fact, from where we left. Pankaj Sharma, I was asking, there has been an attempt to sort of evade and mislead till the time that today's development have taken place on the part of Hemant Soren.
See, I was saying to G that one doesn't need a telescope to see how agencies are hounding the leaders from the opposition parties only, such as Lalu Prasad Yadav, Hemant Soren, Arvind Kejriwal, and many others. And you know,
but that's not my question. I will come to that. We will broaden the debate. I will definitely ask that question to Sanju Verma, though I began with it. But then, Pankaj Sharma, my specific question was, sorry, Pankaj Sharma, my specific question was there an element of evading and not cooperating with the agency for 9 summons?
Fine. How many summons have you, how many summons these investigative agencies have sent to Yadurappa, Hemant Sharma in past years? You know, if the Prime Minister fighting against corruption, as you every evening try us to believe, why should he spare anyone of them just because they have joined BJP? We live in a world where this has become a norm that corruption by my people is no corruption, and every other thing by others
I'll come to you, Sanju.
comes
No,
under
Abhinay.
the ambit of criminal irregularity. So this is not good. The entire nation watched how to tighten the noose around the
Understood.
neck of a
Pankaj
chief
Sharma.
minister. The investigative agencies were behaving in a
Pankaj Sharma, you know, I have the list. Pankaj Sharma, I have the list that you have, and I will put it to Sanju Verma to answer. But my question still remains. You are evading, like Hemant Soren evaded the summons. The question that I am asking you third time, I have no powers to summon, but third time question, fourth time question, I'll ask 9 times, like ED asked, say, Hemant Soren. You know, my question is, in this particular instance, has there been an element of not cooperating with the investigation?
Could be, yes, it seems. Could be, I agree with you. But while investigative agencies should be free to investigate, but in democracy, people's representatives must also get their due recognition. They cannot be left to the whims of certain officers. This end of fixing the political opponents by blatantly misusing the bureaucracy is becoming a grave threat to the foundation of our long-held democratic principles. Don't please forget that there is always another day, and setting Jewish examples is ultimately in no one's interest.
Okay, Anmol Pawar, as in the case of Hemant Soren, so in the case of Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal of Delhi and the party supremo, it seems that this is the 5th time that he has been summoned. Sometime he is in Vipassana, other times he is campaigning in Madhya Pradesh. At other times, he's busy with the selection of Rajya Sabha candidates. Obviously, you know, he can, from his side, just like ED is being so polite, as Sanju Verma says, one after the other, 4, 5, 6, 9 summons. The chief minister could have said, okay, fine, I'm a busy man, but then still I can accommodate these hours for your questioning. Please tell me, what do you want to ask? I mean, you see, while I'll ask Sanju Verma about the leaders who have not been pursued by these agencies, who have joined the BJP, the question to opposition leaders, and in your case for Arvind Kejriwal, is that has there been an element of politicization of investigations, despite the fact that the origins of these investigations are in local police complaints, not with the ED or CBI?
Abhishek, what kind of politicization are you talking about? This country is aware about the fact that ED and CBI, which are the premier investigating agency, are supposed to investigate any of the crimes not in a biased manner. They are acting as frontal organizations of Bharatiya Janata Party, working at the behest of Bharatiya Janata Party. And we as a citizen of this country must not forget that success of any democracy hinges on the strength of the institution. And democracies falter. If the institutions falter, then the democracy falters, and eventually it leads to the failure of the nation. What today ED and CBI are doing is that they are trying to destabilize democratically elected governments of the state and punish the people who use their wisdom to throw this...
Destabilizing a democratic elected government, the majority of the JMM states, the case is only against some aides of the chief minister, ultimately leading to the chief minister, and that is why he has been questioned. There is evidence which has been out in public domain. In this specific instance, let me just correct you. I will come to liquor gate also, but let me correct you. Let me correct you. In the 2 cases in which the Jharkhand chief minister today has been questioned and is to be arrested, let me complete. Just correcting you, because the reason I'm saying it's politicization is, let me correct you. In the land case, land scam as it is called, the original FIR was filed by the Ranchi Municipal Corporation clerk, right? And remember, the employees of the revenue department of the Jharkhand government, of which Hemant Soren happened to be the chief minister, when this complaint was filed in 2022, about a year and a half or little more than that. Now, in the case of the illegal mining scam, the FIR has been filed by the Sahibganj District Police. The police which reports to Hemant Soren ultimately. Again in 2022, against a JMM MLA Pankaj Mishra, who is now arrested. The Enforcement Directorate only picked up those investigations which were locally being conducted by the Jharkhand government agencies themselves. So how does it become politicization of the ED and the CBI? For God's sake, can I ask this question to our Trinamool representative Anirban? Because Anirban, in all the cases that are being investigated in Kolkata by the ED and CBI, a majority of them are happening at the instructions of the Calcutta High Court.
Yes, we should remember that even the cheat fund investigation was handed over to the CBI, and the ED also was roped in almost a decade back. It's almost 10 years that the CBI and the ED took over the charges in investigating the cheat fund scams. Where is the charge sheet, the final charge sheet? In the mid-time, 10 years have gone by, and many of those people who were alleged in this cheat fund scam, Himanta Biswa Sharma, one of the biggest names, Shubhendu Adhikari, another very big name, they have all jumped ships, gone to the BJP, and one has become the Chief Minister of Assam, another one has become the leader of opposition in the Assembly of West Bengal. Therefore, just because the court has directed the CBI or the ED to take up the investigation does not mean that the ED or CBI is acting in an impartial manner. Every political leader who has jumped ship and joined the BJP or the government by the BJP, example Maharashtra, the ED or the CBI have done nothing against them. That is the reason we call this political vendetta. We would have no problem.
Abhishek, you got 4 people from the opposition
in their approach. They are
the
not.
BJP needs to rebut each one of them. You've got 4 people from the opposition.
Hold on, Sanju, hold on.
No,
Sanju, I'm coming to you. I opened with you.
You've got 4 people
Okay,
from
in
the
that case,
opposition.
we start with the fact.
You've got 4
We start
people.
with the fact that Himanta Biswa Sharma was a prime accused in the Louis Berger scam.
You got a long opening, Sanju. I'll come to you.
Himanta Biswa Sharma was a prime accused in the Louis Berger scam.
Sanju, hold on. I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you straight after this. Hold on.
Absolute gibberish on your show.
No, let him complete. You respond to that gibberish.
Sanju Verma
Quickly, Anirban, 30 seconds. Because I have also Dhalidharan and Benasing also.
Sanju Verma needs to re-educate herself. The Louis Berger scam was brought up by the BJP
No personal
against
comments,
Himanta Biswa Sharma
okay,
when he
let
was
me
in the
rephrase
Congress.
what Anirban
She
has
knows
said,
nothing.
what
She
Anmol
knows
has
nothing.
said, and what Pankaj Sharma has said, and Sanju. The question is that the opposition often says that BJP acts as a washing machine. You get an Ajit Pawar into BJP, he's fine. You get a Praful Patel into BJP, he's fine. You get a Pema Khandu in BJP, he's fine. So I think, I'm coming to you. So I'm just framing the question. So all these leaders who have come to the BJP from opposition space, the ED goes slow or whatever. He's saying in the case of chit fund case also, it's been 10 years, there is no charge sheet. So obviously, the element of political witch hunt getting mixed with investigation is the opposition charge. Sanju, you respond now.
Thank you, Abhishek. First and foremost, Pankaj Mishra, he said that why has Yediyurappa not been arrested? So let me tell Mr. Mishra that on the 15th of October 2011, B.S. Yediyurappa, after a decision by the Lokayukta court in Karnataka, was arrested. His case went all the way to the Supreme Court. In fact, in January 2021, a man called Alam Pasha filed a fresh case against him, and the Karnataka High Court restored charges against B.S. Yediyurappa. Yediyurappa went to the Supreme Court, and it was the Supreme Court which dismissed charges against Yediyurappa. So, pehli baat to ye, Yediyurappa has been to prison, Yediyurappa has faced trial, Yediyurappa never absconded. And it is the Supreme Court which gave a clean chit to Yediyurappa. Point number 2, to the TMC. Sanju Verma knows nothing. Ha, bhai sahab, Sanju Verma knows nothing. You are a rocket scientist. Chalo, maan liya. But let me say one thing. Partha Chatterjee, who was the education minister under Mamata Banerjee, she said, "Arey, ye to doodh se bhi zyada dhule hue hain." What happened? Partha Chatterjee is cooling his heels in the lockup, and his bail plea has been rejected by the Supreme Court. Anubrata Mandal, again a close confidant of Mamta Banerjee, called the Birbhum Bahubali. Mamta Banerjee ने कहा ये तो राजा हरिश्चंद्र का दूसरा अवतार है. The case went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court refused and rejected the bail plea of Anubrata Mandal. Then let us talk about Abhishek Banerjee. He went to Supreme Court and look at the audacity, Abhishek. He said, quash the proceedings and the investigation against me, which the CBI and ED are undertaking. The Supreme Court fined Abhishek Banerjee a solid 25 lakh rupees and said nothing doing. You may be Abhishek Banerjee,
that
but you
you know
will have to
nothing
face
is
the
being
Enforcement
proved over
Directorate.
again and again.
Shut up.
Quickly, Anirban.
Who brought up the Louis Berger scam against Himanta Biswa Sharma? What about the Naroda sting operation?
No, Anirban, first
What
to
about
respond-
Ajit
first to
Pawar
respond
being
to the
called a
fact-
corrupt
first to
politician
respond
by
to the
Narendra
fact
Modi?
that Abhishek
Answer on
Banerjee was
these three
fined
questions
rupees
first.
25 lakhs by
Answer
the
on these
Supreme
three
Court.
questions first.
TMC goon is sitting here and giving a bhashan
No,
to BJP.
no, you have asked
Half
Sanju.
their
Let him
cabinet is in
respond.
jail.
Anirban,
Half
Abhishek
of Mamata
Banerjee
Banerjee's
fined
cabinet is
25
in prison.
lakh rupees by the Supreme Court, right or not?
अपनी
The
करतूतों की
CBI
वजह से,
officers in
not
Bengal
because of
attacked by the
BJP.
TMC cadres or
अपनी
not?
काली करतूतों को देखिए, बाद में बीजेपी को
Sanju, hold
integrity
on.
का सर्टिफिकेट दीजिए. Abhishek, my last
Sanju, hold
point.
on.
You made a very valid point, Abhishek.
Sanju, hold on.
पर हर किसी-
Okay,
No, Abhishek,
now
just
that
10
the
seconds.
shameless
You
woman has
asked me one
stopped, let
question,
me answer.
respond.
Regarding the
Ajit
Louis
Pawar
Berger
has not
scam
done
against
No
Himanta
personal
Biswa
comments.
Sharma, it was the
Anirban, I will not
BJP
allow-
who printed
So,
leaflets and
as-
distributed
As
it.
to Sanju, so to
Shubhendu
you,
Adhikari
no
was
personal
called a
comments.
corrupt politician
No
by the
personal
BJP.
comments, Anirban.
Ajit Pawar was called a chore by the Prime Minister himself. Nobody else did that. Each and every leader who the BJP called a corrupt politician was taken into their folds.
Okay, no, okay. Anirban, pull back. Sanju Verma, pull back. I have to get Mr. Dharnidharan and Binay Singh also. Okay, but Sanju, Binay Singh is on your side. He leans towards the right. Binay Singh is on your side. And- okay. Now you see in what we are discussing. Okay, what we are discussing is yes, but Anirban refuses to respond to that. It's on record. Anirban refuses to respond to that. Sanju, hold on. Sanju, hold on. Sanju, hold on. You see.
Has Sanju
Okay,
responded
even
to the
as
question?
Hemant Soren game is
Has
over,
Sanju
what we are
responded to
discussing
the
is.
question? The political
No, Anirban, you
chameleons
also
that
did
the
not respond to the
BJP is,
question.
Have they responded to the question? Who called Himanta
Anirban,
Biswa
you did
Sharma
not- you
a
also did
prime
not
accused
respond to
in
the
Louis
question.
Berger scam?
You talk about Partha
No, no,
Chatterjee.
first let her answer the question.
You are also not responding to the question.
Let her answer the
You talk
question.
about
Who called
Anubrata
Himanta
Mandal,
Biswa
Himmat hai to
Sharma
you
a
talk
chore?
about Malay
Who
Bhatta,
called Shubhendu
Himmat
Adhikari
hai.
a chore?
You
Who
talk
called
about
Ajit
Ramesh
Pawar a
Khalil
chore?
Khan,
It was
Shahjahan
Narendra Modi
Sheikh,
himself.
who went absconding.
Anirban.
Talk about Shahjahan Sheikh. Why Shahjahan Sheikh
No,
absconding?
this is being unfair
Is he
to
not
our
close to your
DMK
minister,
representative and
Jyotirmoy
Sanju Verma, Binay Singh on your
Is
side.
Shahjahan Sheikh, your TMC goon, not close
All
to
right, those
Jyotirmoy
are
Malik?
facts
Yes or
in
no?
public
Verma
domain.
will
The
get
fact
all
of the
the
matter
privilege
is
because he is
that
from BJP.
whenever
If that is the case, then I can say nothing.
And he's facing a trial
Sanju
for
Verma
corruption.
answers nothing.
This is the state of affairs in
She
Mamata
has
Banerjee's
no-
website.
Sanju, please.
She has
I
no
will
facts
come
in
back to
her
you,
purse.
Sanju. Please
She
hold
will
on.
talk
Yeah, I have to get
every
Mr.
press that she
Dharnidharan and
can.
Binay Singh also. Okay, Anirban, Sanju has pulled back. Now it's your turn to pull back. It's very important. It's very important. It's very important to understand what's happening. The CBI was called a caged parrot during UPA years, right? Nothing like that has happened, at least till now, in the last 9.5, 10 years of the Modi government, of the NDA too. But what is important is that just like ED, as Sanju says, is being polite, can the opposition be a little more cooperative? So, for example, the arrest situation that Hemant Soren has faced today could have happened a year back, much ahead of elections, rather than now, had he cooperated. Mr. Dharnidharan. So, for example, in DMK ruled Tamil Nadu, do we not have instances of IT officials being attacked by DMK cadres when the Senthil Balaji issue happened? I'm saying, can we have a little more institutionalized way of cooperation with investigation agencies so that they are not politicized? Ultimately, you are believers of the constitution of the country. You believe in the judiciary. The matter goes to the court. And if you are right, irrespective of which party is under a scanner or the leader is under scanner, you will come out with absolute honor intact. Mr. Dharnidharan. Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Dharnidharan?
Firstly and foremost, I'll tell that ED, income tax, and CBI are nothing but wings of the BJP party. Right? Look at the conviction rate. What is the conviction rate for ED file cases? Less than 0.01%. For every 1,000 cases filed, only 1 person is getting convicted. But what does the ED do? They use the process to harass. That is the problem here. The whole problem with the ED is that they use the process to harass. I'll tell you, 95% of the cases filed by the BJP government in the last 10 years are against the opposition party leaders. I'll give an example of Trinamool Congress leader was arrested by ED. Then he joins BJP. Then nothing happened to the ED case. Then again rejoins TMC. Then summons are coming. What happened to Hemant Biswa Sarma? He was investigated by CBI. Where is that case going? Narayan Rane was harassed by ED, was nearly arrested. Then he joins BJP. Then he has the brazenness to go and say, now that I'm in BJP, ED won't do anything. See, the problem is you can't need institutions to demolish democracy in this country. That's what's happening. Tell me which BJP or BJP's allies have been investigated or arrested by ED in the last 9 years? None. What happened to ADMK ex-ministers? In fact, the present governor of Tamil Nadu did not even give permission to for the Tamil Nadu government to prosecute the ex-ministers who are now legislators. ADMK minister I'm talking about. In fact, the cases on them are filed by CBI only then. After that, they joined hand in glove with the BJP, then nothing happened to the case. So this is the scenario here. If you are, there's one rule of law. If you are part of BJP, then one rule of law if you're not part of BJP. How come one politician from opposition party is being arrested, the same person joins BJP, then ED does nothing? How is it possible? How is it fair? And again, in Tamil Nadu, we have been harassed by ED and CBI and income tax. They're nothing but wings of the BJP party is what I'm reiterating. That's what the data shows. The numbers show.
Does it create perception issues? Yeah. Okay. Dharnidharanji, I got your point, and let me put it across to Binay Singh and frame it. Does it create perception issues, Binay Singh, that if agencies, if they have cases against political leaders, 95% of them, as Mr. Dharnidharan says, are against opposition leaders? Also, very poor conviction rate, both in the case of ED and CBI in these kind of investigations. And then the process as harassment is what Mr. Dharnidharan is saying. So the process of 8, 9, 10 summons, as Sanju says, ED being polite, is actually not ED being polite. It's the process being used to harass. That's the opposition charge, Binay Singh. You think it creates perception issues for the BJP?
Abhishek, I think in this debate we are missing a very important point. What happened today? A history has been created. For the first time, a sitting chief minister, he has been arrested. But if you look at Jharkhand, it is not the first time. History has been repeated twice. Some years back, a person, a Nirdaliya, an independent MLA, he was made a chief minister. Why? Because you are very decent or dressing? No. Madhu Koda was made a CM because the Congress could use him for corruption to make money, to make scams, and whenever the situation comes, he would be made as a scapegoat. And the history is repeated again, Abhishek. The Congress here is in the role of a corruption consultant. The corruption, the real, culprit of the today, what happened to Hemant Soren is Congress party. The Congress party again chose a person. They chose two types of person. Either the person who is very corrupt or the person who is very weak.
You also seem to be dodging my question. My question, my question. I was channelizing the question.
And the second thing I'm telling you, the new CM, he's a very simple person. This Champai Soren, and he will be misused like Madhu Koda was misused in the past. His simplicity will be used for corruption. Yes, Abhishek.
Binay, you seem to be also dodging the question. The question I asked was, does it create, you think in the mind of the people of the country, it creates perception issues that all the cases that the CBI and ED are investigating, though of course they have not been called a caged parrot under the Modi government like they were in the UPA years. 95% of the cases, a majority of the cases, if not 95, because 95 is a number given by Mr. Dharnidharan, if the majority of the cases are against opposition leaders,
Abhishek, let me answer
if the investigations against those leaders who were in opposition but have joined the BJP go slow, then do the people not think that, oh, is it fair? Is it right?
Abhishek, this is not the case. Because 2 days back, when the ED went to question Mr. Hemant Soren at his Delhi residence, and he just vanished, you know that the very same day, a JSSC paper leak happened in Ranchi. And the examination papers, they were being sold on the streets for 40 and 50 lakhs rupees. On the very same date, the ED went to question the CM. On the very same date, a scam happened. So these scams are in public. What happened in Chhattisgarh, what happened in Delhi, and what happened in Jharkhand. And Lalu Prasad Yadav and the father of Hemant Soren, Shibu Soren, they are certified scammers. The honorable courts have certified them as corrupt. It is not the normal person. So you cannot generalize what happened today. You cannot generalize what is happening with Delhi CM and what happened with Lalu Prasad Yadav. The court has convicted them in the past, and you are making him as a holy cow. He's not. And you cannot generalize it that he is being used as a tool. It's not the case. There is a process, and that process takes time.
Pankaj Sharma, I have given adequate time to the political argument that you make. That what about the opposition? What about the BJP leaders? What about the leaders who from opposition going into the BJP? But the question remains that the conviction of Lalu Prasad Yadav was done by a court of law. It was not done by the BJP. It was not done by the ED. If the public distribution scam is being investigated in Bengal, Pankaj Sharma, it is at the instructions of the High Court. It's poor people's atta scam. So obviously, irrespective of whether the investigation is slow or fast-paced, irrespective of whether a charge sheet gets delayed or not, the fact of the matter is, Pankaj Sharma, this is about corruption. It might be politically expedient for the Congress party to be always seen with Lalu Prasad Yadav, but the fact of the matter is, Pankaj Sharma, that a court of law has convicted him. He is convicted of corruption. It's a choice Congress party is making to stand with corruption, but it is corruption nevertheless.
Yes, corruption is a big issue. Let me not mention Rafael and Hindenburg, recovery of tons of drugs at private courts.
No. How
Rafael, the government got a clean check from the Supreme Court. How dare you talk about Rafael? The Supreme Court gave a clean check to the Modi government on the Rafael issue.
For building construction in Gujarat.
How dare you talk about Rafael? The Supreme Court has given the Modi government a clean check.
Properties without taking a single penny in bribe in Madhya Pradesh.
Or pecuniary advantage
is involved in environmental
BJP or to Prime Minister Modi
in Goa.
due to the Rafael deal.
Excise theft is there in liquor business in Haryana. There is illegal mining in Chhattisgarh.
You keep interjecting.
Barriers are corruption-free in Rajasthan. All stations are providing charitable.
No, I'm interjecting. Pankaj Sharma also. I'm interjecting you also, Sanju. But on Rafale,
domestic tender.
Pankaj Sharma.
Prime Minister is aware of all
Sanju
this.
Verma, hold on. Sanju Verma, hold on. Sanju Verma, hold on.
Are you out of your mind? Rafael पर Supreme Court
You are fighting against corruption.
Clean check दी है.
Pankaj Sharma.
The Supreme Court gave a clean check to Narendra Modi on Rafael.
Pankaj Sharma, the fact of the matter is, Pankaj Sharma, since you mentioned Rafale, I think in a connected case, in the case of Rafale, the Supreme Court made everything amply clear. But in a connected case, Rahul Gandhi, I think I had to apologize. So Pankaj Sharma, the fact of the matter is, while there were 9 cases, huge scams during the UPA 1, UPA 2 era, there is nothing during the Modi government where CAG has said anything, where the Supreme Court has said anything, where any of the agencies which work independently, remember, have said anything. So I think corruption is an issue where, unfortunately, most of the leaders who are involved, who are being pursued, happen to be from the opposition space. It's a fact. Now, that's what I'm saying. Why delay? Why not just cooperate with the investigation, be done with it, go to the court, let the court free you, and then you come out honorably. That's the point I'm making. Anmol Pawar, before I wind up the debate, we still have 4 minutes. Anmol Pawar, for Arvind Kejriwal to be saying on the first summon that he is busy with the election campaign in Madhya Pradesh, to be saying that he is in a Vipassana retreat during the second summon, despite the fact that 3 of your leaders are already in judicial custody. And remember, the Supreme Court has commented in the same case that there seems to be a money trail. What are you getting by delaying investigation and actually taking to the doorsteps of the election and then say it's political? I mean, you took it to the election, not the BJP or the agency. For God's sake, Anmol.
Abhishek, first of all, we need to understand the modus operandi of CBI and ED. The CBI files an investigation report. Leaning on this, ED gets into act by invoking the provisions of Prevention of Money Laundering Act. And we all know that Prevention of Money Laundering Act provisions are draconian and gives the ED sweeping powers to arrest
Anmol,
and search.
just hold on. Sanju, I'll come to you. There is a breaking news development, which is that Hemant Soren has been formally arrested and the Enforcement Directorate has been able to complete the process of going ahead and arresting Hemant Soren, the former Chief Minister of Jharkhand. Now, he was refusing to sign the arrest memo after having gone to the Raj Bhavan in ED custody in an ED car. He has come back and signed the arrest memo. I'm told Shravan is joining us live to give us, bring us up to speed with the latest development. So breaking news development coming in: Hemant Soren formally arrested after 7.5-hour questioning, or plus 7 hours plus of questioning. He has come back from Raj Bhavan, submitted himself again to the ED team, and then he has been arrested. If I can get Shravan on phone, just briefly. All right, Shravan is there on the phone, I believe. And Shravan, if you are getting me, please tell us how the process went. Is he finally... Okay, let's get him on phone only, and so that we can just get the exact details of the process of arrest. Because remember, after the Raj Bhavan, was he taken back to his residence or was he taken to the Ranchi office of the Enforcement Directorate? Because he had gone to the Raj Bhavan in an ED car, not in the Chief Minister's official vehicle. So, Shravan, if you are connected now over the phone. Shravan is on the phone. So, Shravan, over to you. Please tell us final arrest happening now of the Hemant Soren and all the formalities, procedures, technicalities completed. Over to you.
Well, we can now confirm that Hemant Soren has been placed under arrest by the Enforcement Directorate.
There seems to be some audio issue, I think. So, but anyway, we have confirmed that. Okay, audio issue there with Shravan, but then the confirmation coming in with Shravan Sen informing us that Hemant Soren has been arrested. The hashtag changing from Soren gave over to Soren arrested. Hemant Soren, after having avoided and sought time from the Enforcement Directorate for over 6 to 7 months, 9th summon finally, after which he said he's going to be questioned and finally getting arrested. Shravan is back on the phone with us. Shravan, please tell us the process finally when it was completed. Was it at the Chief Minister's residence or was it after the Raj Bhavan? Hemant Soren was taken directly to the ED office. Is he in judicial custody? Is he in the custody of the ED? Is he going to be taken to the court tonight or tomorrow? What's the process going to be like?
Well, we can now confirm top sources from the Enforcement Directorate coming to the public TV that Hemant Soren has been placed under
arrest. As of now, we're being told that the arrest timing is roughly around 9:30. The exact timing is expected to come in a short form from now. As far as the procedure is concerned, the questioning will continue tonight is what we are being told. Perhaps till about a little later, till about midnight, it's going to continue. The remand papers are going to be prepared thereafter. In all probability, he would be produced before the court, the local court in Ranchi sometime tomorrow. That decision hasn't been taken as yet. Perhaps, Abhishek, in a short while from now, we'll be able to tell our viewers as to what really happens, by what time is Hemant Soren taken into, is produced before the court.
Okay, Shravan, thank you so much. Thank you so much. On that note, I have to thank my panelists, my guests on the panel also, because we have really run out of time on this side. But after the break, on the other side, 2 more debates coming up. One on Gyan Vapi, the court there in Varanasi, giving permission to the Hindu side to offer prayers at what's called Vyasji Ka Tehkhana.